Mississippi, Yorkshire.
With news you trust.
BBC Radio Leeds.
Now, you might have seen Bradford-born magician Dynamo spoke out yesterday in the Radio Times about bullying, because he was bullied in his childhood. Dynamo, whose real name is Stephen Frayne, says that the best form of revenge for the bullies, who used to do things like put him in a bin and push it down the hill, is achieve success like he has. Well, let's hear the real-life story of somebody who knows only too well what it feels like to be bullied as a child. Devan Witter's memories of going to primary school in Garforth include being lying on a playground floor whilst being kicked, and things didn't get much better when he went to high school. Here to tell us his real-life story, delayed from 10:10, I should say, this morning, Devan Witter. Good morning, Devan.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on. You're 17 now.
Yeah.
Has it stopped now, the bullying?
Since I've joined college, the bullying's near non-existent.
I'm glad to hear it. And let me just say, it was the same for me. When I left school, high school, that's when it all stopped. And so hopefully you won't ever encounter it again. But Devan, what was it like then?
It was really awful. I mean, I've been bullied most of my school life, from infant school in Leeds right through to secondary school. And all I remember from the infant school was just, like you said, lying on the floor, and I was being kicked wherever they could get at me.
And that was in primary school? So you were...
That was the infant school in
Infant
Garforth.
school? Wow.
Yeah.
So how old were you?
I'm not too sure, probably about 5, 6.
Very young.
Yeah.
And can you try and understand why you were being bullied? For what reasons do you think?
For the reasons of the infant school, from what I've been told, it was purely because I was moved up a year group because of how good I was doing in my education.
So you were different?
Yeah. And then in year 4, when I moved over to Market Wheaton, it was most to do with my weight and acne and different things like that.
And who would bully you?
Just people in the school who thought that I was different. Mostly the people in my year group, really. Boys
and girls?
Yeah.
Did you turn to anybody, like family or even, in fact, a teacher at school and say, this is what's happening to me?
The first time it was really a friend who actually spoke to my mum, and she went into the secondary school and spoke to the head teacher. After that, nothing actually got done about it. And obviously, as I've gone through secondary school, I spoke to the teachers there, and nothing ever got done about it. That's when I decided to go to BeatBullying, and they were really helpful to me when I spoke to the mentors. Yeah,
and we'll talk about BeatBullying, and I guess BeatBullying has come about because this existed, as we know, years ago. Bullying happened in every school, and what I can't get my head around is that it's happening, and it's happened relatively recently. I would have thought it was stamped out a long time ago, and that teachers and head teachers would know how to deal, would have an anti-bullying policy in place, and would do something about it if you went up to them, or your mum in this case, and said, look, I'm being bullied, or my son is being bullied, what you going to do about it? But in your case, they didn't do anything about it.
No, they if you like, laughed about it, really. That's all the reaction I got from them.
You saw them laugh at the suggestion that you were being bullied?
It was sort of like one of the incidents was a supply teacher. She actually saw me getting bullied at the secondary school. She took it to the anti-bullying coordinator, and the anti-bullying coordinator just sort of made a little joke out of it, and she didn't believe that I was being bullied.
Incredible. And there's somebody with presumably a full-time job in a position of trying to tackle bullying, laughing at your situation, your plight.
Yeah, well, I actually said to the anti-bullying coordinator, that I won't be responsible if I have to, if anything gets physical, if I had to use self-defence, and her reaction to that was that I needed anger management.
How did that make you feel?
It was just awful. It felt that there was nobody you could turn to speak about bullying. That's why I was really grateful when I found BeatBullying, because they really helped me, as well as my parents, just learning how to cope with the bullying.
This is a charity then set up to help kids like you, like I, who have been bullied at school for being different. And how have they helped you, Devan?
Well, they first of all gave me a support through a mentor, which I went on their website and spoke to, and they sort of give me a few little tips on what I could do personally to sort of overcome and, if you like, get used to the bullying, which isn't ideal, but obviously
get used to it. Wow.
That's how I had to deal with it, purely because the teachers weren't listening.
Yeah, and it was having what kind of an impact on you?
I just didn't really trust anybody. I wouldn't really speak to anybody. I'd just have the few little close friends that I had.
So what else have they done for you?
They've also allowed me to become a mentor myself for the charity now, so I'm able to give out advice on the website and help young people who are being bullied and give them the right support that they need as well as becoming an ambassador for the charity to help speak out about bullying in my local area.
Yeah, and as you've heard, I mean, Dynamo, who we all love from Bradford, the magician, he was bullied. And what do you make of what he said in that interview yesterday, where he says, well, he actually said, I'd like to thank the bullies. If it wasn't for them, wouldn't have got into magic.
Yeah, I sort of can relate to that, because if it wasn't for the bullying that I received, I don't think I'd have been as strong. I'm more confident now because it knocked me down, did the bullying, but obviously I'm now in the place of where I can help people with my experience, so in a way they have helped me, if that makes sense.
They have. OK, and what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Big question.
I want to become a paralegal, really, but I want to specialise in, like, helping people get legal action taken, you know, for bullying, like helping with Aiden's Law and different things like that.
What's Aiden's Law?
It's a law that BeatBullying worked with the Sun newspaper to pass in Parliament about providing support to victims who are being bullied, and also making sure that the bullying is dealt with by sending the bully to educational classes and the parents as well.
Yeah, not sending the victim to anger management classes.
Yeah.
What would you, if you could, perhaps your bullies are listening right now to the radio, and if they are, what would you like to say to your bullies who are listening today? Or have you met them today?
I've not met anybody today, but when out of the stuff that I do get a lot of good comments, and some of the comments are that, you know, I'm only doing it for attention and different things like that. And my response to the people who say and think that I'm doing it for attention is that they haven't actually seen, you know, the people who we get to speak to, the mentors who we speak to, and the different stories they come out, and that's really the reason why I do what I do.
Devan, thank you very much for coming on today. Really brave thing to do, to come on and talk about it, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you, Devan Witter. Thank you.
Thanks.
He was bullied for most of his time at school. He's now 17. Happy to say he's left school now. He's in college, and it's all going fine. And he's helping others get through what he did by being a mentor for that charity called BeatBullying. Devan Witter telling his real life story.